Well, welcome. This is Hamilton County Coaches Show, and girls basketball is right around the corner. So I got to hustle out here and get these interviews with these high school girls basketball coaches. Welcome, Coach Buckley.
Well, hey, it's good to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking time. I know it's busy time for us, right? Busy time for everyone. And I'm switching from, we did soccer on Saturday. Friday night we went to Sheridan to do a 1A football game, which is, I respect those coaches over there, 1A football and the players, but it's a different life than us broadcasting in 6A football all the time. So it's a little bit different, but girls basketball is here, and I'm excited. A year ago we were sitting here and you had a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen on the roster, and two seniors, so a little bit different. All of them are a year older now, and of course you got probably Emily Kaiser, probably the most recruited basketball player you've coached here.
Yeah, absolutely. She had all kinds of offers, and is going to go to Michigan, and we're excited for her.
Oh, that's exciting, and the one thing I was really excited about was with Amy Dell going to the same place. It's always nice to have a point guard to get the ball inside to you of her caliber. So you know as well as anybody else, it's important to have a great point guard.
Oh yeah, and she's one of those kids. I feel like she's been here forever. Amy is really talented and definitely probably one of my top 3 or 4 all-time favorite players since opposing players for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Since I've been here, she's a fun one to watch. So it'll be neat to have those two, representing Michigan and like I said, the Big Ten, and getting to see them play around here a lot.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk a little about the Lady Millers in the 2017, 2018. We touched Emily Kaiser coming back, but your two young juniors, your M&M twins there, as I call them, Mallory and Maddie, is Mallory Johnson and Maddie Knight. Let's talk a little bit about them, and we'll go down the line here and talk about some of these players that you have.
Well, those two are two of our more experienced kids coming back, but we also we have Olivia Morales as a senior coming back, and she had a really great first week. She looked like a senior, and just one of those kids that was awesome last week for us, great leader, and just everything she did on the floor was pretty, just again apparent she was a senior. Maddie Knight is in her 3rd year of varsity, and we're really excited about her. She, again, a kid who's gotten stronger and gotten better every year. And Mallory Johnson is just really blown up. She's a kid that, I think is going to jump on everybody's radar this year. She can just flat out score. She can defend. Like I said, really a good athlete, and one of those kids that, like I said, if you don't know who she is, like I said, you're going to know by the end of the year. Healthy for the first time is Madison Wheatrow. She is 100% healthy, and she had a nice summer for us, so we're excited to have her back in. Like I said, just hopefully, like I said, staying healthy and doing things that we saw her do really coming into her freshman year. She's looking confident, and we're excited about her as well.
Because I remember back when Madison was in the 8th grade, and you and I would sit around and have conversations, and you would keep telling me Madison Wheatrow is going to make a huge difference in this Miller team, and I think she can do a lot of great things. And of course she had that knee injury, and it really slowed her down big time. I mean, it really did.
She worked very
hard. Yeah.
She worked hard. She just had such a bad rehab. She gets all kinds of tendonitis and things that really just set her back, and I felt so bad for her. But to her credit, she's a kid that just she fought through it. She never got down. She really came into last year still not healthy after missing her freshman year. So she finally, this off season, just kind of hit the reset button, and it's been awesome. She's been healthy, no setbacks, and you can just see it in her play, just mentally and physically. She looks like the kid that we, we're excited to see coming in as a freshman. So she should be fun to watch this year.
But always, it seems like you have two choices with adversity. You can either suck it up and go after it, or you can have a pity party and feel sorry for yourself. Madison chose to to get out there and work hard and come back. And that's a great thing. And I think don't you think that will make her probably a better player than had she not got injured because of the determination?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think you saw that Becca Bergman had
Yeah, you're
ACL
right.
injuries and missed some time. And, you know, I'm sure if you ask her, she definitely wish she could have that time back. But at the same time, I think it made her a very different basketball player, made her appreciate being healthy and just every opportunity that you have to get better. And I see that same kind of instinct in Madison and how she's handled everything that's happened to her.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your other juniors, mention some of them, and talk about, it's pretty well set for probably we'll see in that lineup for sure. Emily Kaiser will be in the lineup and bar any injuries or anything like that, and so will Mallory and Maddie. And so what else are we looking at?
We have a bunch of sophomores that gained experience last year. They played a lot of JV and also got some time for us at the varsity level. And I think having that kind of that balance in that will help them out. But Abby's going to be one of those kids that really I think comes in this year and plays point for us. And the style play, we're just going to play fast. And she's a kid that, like I said, she's quick. You put her on the line, and I mean, she's going to be getting them down. But man, you put the ball in her hands, and like I said, she's going to fly. We also have several, like I said, sophomore, another Kaiser. I think I will have had 12 straight years of Kaisers. It's a pretty nice problem to have. I'd take one more if they could do that for me. But Anna's come a long way. She's a kid that probably from last year to now is probably our most improved kid. I mean, she has really come a long way. She's also grown.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I was like, she's kind of a combination for those who remember Jess, her older sister, and then she's got more the build of Jess, but starting to get a little more height on her. Hopefully she's still growing, but like I said, she can play several different positions for us, and she'll do a nice job. And then oh goodness, let's see, we've got gotta get through all my sophomores off the top of my head here, but Sarah Etchison's a kid who has gotten better for us, and we'll play a little bit of varsity, and like I said, we're gonna play several kids, probably a little bit of both, but like I said, she's that kind of kid. And then we've got Devin Wright, who big girl, like she is 6'2", I believe. So like I said, we've got some nice size. Like I said, we got 3 big girls Anna's probably not quite 6 foot, but we'll say she's 6. And then obviously Emily at 6'3". So Devin definitely has improved a lot and had a nice off season for us. So we're looking forward to seeing what she can do. I'm trying to think who. Oh gosh, Caitlin Ely. Caitlin Ely is a kid with incredible speed. She's probably the fastest kid we've had in a long time. I'm sure if Alexis Shannon sees this, she'll yell at me, but I'm telling you, Keely's fast, and she's gonna play a lot of varsity for us this year. She'll be one of those kids that'll come in and just wreak havoc. Her and Olivia Morales and some of those kids, Abby, they're all just so quick. We want to play fast, and like I said, I have no doubt that Caitlin will be that kid that can just get up and down the floor. I'm trying to think here. Have I gone through all my sophomores?
I think.
Let's see. Yeah.
I think that's all. That's pretty well all of your.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. So, yep, that I think is, and we have some young kids that we're still trying to figure out. It's a nice problem to have, but we have, with all that success of the fall sports, we haven't had a chance to look at everybody yet.
Sure.
So we're excited to kind of see, what some of those other kids coming in look like. But like I said, we've had a couple of freshmen that we're kind of getting a feel for right now that may give us a little bit of time. And like I said, it's fun. Like I said, we have a nice blend of youth and experience, and like I said, we have size. I love having, like I said, the big kids to go with all those little quick guards. So
with those young freshmen that dressed varsity last year or sophomores, like you said, they got a lot of JV time, okay, and then they got some varsity action. So a couple of those girls, you kind of played, let them play till half, and then dress them in the varsity. So the most important thing when you're a freshman and sophomore is to get a lot of playing time, right? Whether it's on the JV level or the varsity level. I mean, you don't want players sitting on the bench.
Absolutely.
Just because they are good enough to be on the varsity, but they also need some time
Yeah, that's one of the hardest
JV.
things, is to get people to be patient, because everybody wants to play up right away, or to say that they're, playing up. And to me, the biggest thing is just developing that talent. We talk to our kids all the time. It's okay to be on the freshman team. For us, Olivia Morales played freshman ball, and as a senior, she's going to make a huge impact. As a junior, she had a nice impact for us as a varsity player, and just kind of naturally progressing the way you would like to, in an ideal world, do it. We played a lot of the freshmen last year. They got a lot of experience at the JV level, and then some, like Abby Haley will be our starting point guard, and she was a kid that got minutes here and there, but not consistent by any means. But she got consistent minutes every night in the JV, and again, it's important to find that balance and to be able to get different experience. So, and Maddie Randolph, another kid that played freshman for us last year and some JV, and we'll get some time this year as a varsity kid, but we'll play a lot of JV and continue to have opportunities to develop.
And we need to touch on, two different types of seniors you got here. You got Emily Kaiser, who played a lot of minutes as a freshman. She's always been the go-to person. And then Morales is that type of player. It's a senior that, like you said, just waited her turn. Mm-hmm. But when she stepped on that floor, she gave it 110% every time she went on that floor. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't think I ever saw you have to say something about that gal not hustling out there, or going after the ball, or especially with her size, being a little undersized. She is not afraid to go get a rebound.
Not at all.
Or go in there and bang with the big girls, okay? And especially with, the caliber of teams that we play. I mean, well, we always have a tough schedule, and it's always tough to play in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, and then you throw in the Carmels and the Lawrence Norths and the Heritage Christians of the world, and play those teams that are elite. I mean, have some very great basketball teams. So, and then when you play those smaller schools, like the Heights and Mount Vernon's got your good friend came back to coach over there. So that they'll be ready, as they always are. And
absolutely. Her daughter's a freshman this year.
Oh,
so,
my gosh.
Yeah.
Are we there? No, we're at here.
No, they come here. So,
Thank goodness, because that's a tough place to play.
Yeah, it is. We've been pretty fortunate. We played well the last couple of years going over there. But, they're just one of those teams that, like I said, they'll be scary, because they'll play a lot of freshmen. They've got one senior that will really impact them. But like I said, by the time we see them, they'll be a lot more experienced and ready to go. I have no doubt Julie will get them going. Yeah,
absolutely. And then you look at North Central. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a powerhouse. And the one school you can't overlook, because I've been emailing you back and forth because it absolutely drives me nuts, is I can go on internet and find anything I want about boys basketball, football, and baseball. I mean, I can pinpoint every kid in the country, just about. But in girls sports, a little bit different. But I've noticed from reading up from some of the camps, Northwestern's got some very, very good basketball players.
They've got two Big Ten kids. They're really good.
So that schedule is not going to be an easy one. I mean, but it's going to be a challenging one. And of course, the conference is always tough. And you can't forget Hamilton Southeastern and Parrish down there in that group.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, our schedule is full of big-time talent and really good teams. And, we'll play probably at the top 10. We'll probably see 7 or 8 of the top 10. And pretty much everybody on our schedule, the small school. Heights, I think, will be ranked. I think Northwestern will be ranked number 1 in 3A. Mount Vernon won't be ranked, but they'll be ready by the time we get to them. Like I said,
there's no doubt in my mind that they'll be ready. I mean, I've seen them in action for many years, and that's a great program. And then it'll be, Westfield, she'll come to play.
That's always a brutal game.
Yes,
it doesn't matter who the favorite is going into that game. That game is always down the wire and just a knockdown, drag out, really low scoring, tough game.
And the thing that we face now, that we've faced for years in the Hamilton Southeastern and the Fishers and the Carmel, are all the move-ins, and now those Avons, those Zionsville, those Brownsburg of the world people are moving in that area outside Indianapolis, like they did for many years up this way. So you can't ever tell what you're going to see when you play them. I mean, I'm sure you probably have an idea, but there's going to be talent up and down that Hoosier Crossroad Conference everywhere.
Yeah, everybody. Avon was young and right on the cusp of being really good last year, and they'll be much improved. Got a new coach in Corey West. I have no doubt they'll be good. Brownsburg graduated their best player, but from my understanding, they have a freshman that's kind of the real deal. At least they have high expectations for her. No doubt they'll be good with all the young kids that they got playing time. And yeah, I mean, Westfield, they're always going to compete. Southeastern is crazy talented, along with, Carmel. And like I said, our schedule is just full of lots and lots of good talent.
Yeah, and you're right. And I will probably get her in the next week or so. Jenny Smith over there at Westfield, she's ready to play. She's a fierce competitor, and you're right. When you and her are good friends, but when it comes on the basketball floor, it is all out war, and that's the way it should be. I mean, it's a very, very competitive game. What else? What about some of these freshmen coming in here? We have pretty good numbers and everything. And
our numbers aren't huge. We had today, I think that's my email inbox was just filled with everybody canceling their freshman games, and I think specialization and those types of things. You see the numbers going down across the board in the freshmen, but we don't have huge numbers. But we'll have a freshman team, and I really like this group. Like they, if you were to take them in 1 to 9. There's not much of a difference, and it's nice because they're all balanced. They work hard. Really good kids that want to, compete and get after it, and they're a lot of fun. Like I said, I like this group a lot. Like I said, it'll be interesting. Where they were a year ago to where they are now is night and day. I mean, they've been in. Some of them started coming in the spring and working out with us, and then in all summer, put them in the weight room, and
that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I joke. Emily Wood's been with us a little bit off and on in the varsity, and also with our JV and freshmen. But she's a kid. I watched her play back in February. If she just bumped at all, she was on the ground. And now all of a sudden, she's been working hard in the weight room, and she's 5'10", 5'11", and starting to get strong. And she isn't falling down anymore. And you can see her skill and her athleticism really start to shine. So it's really neat to see. I see that in a lot of those kids. It's the weight room does wonders for our kids, and like I said, especially those young ones, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, I love and to see athletes from their freshman to sophomore, and then sophomore to junior, and the one thing the body transformation of Mallory Johnson, I mean, is tremendous. I mean,
absolutely.
She's no longer that skinny little kid out there on the basketball floor. She's going to be a person that's going to be reckoned with, and I think going to have a very, very great season. What about shooting? You feel pretty comfortable because that everybody's going to be double, triple teaming Emily.
Yeah, I think that'll be the biggest difference. Last year we were just so inexperienced, and Emily, I mean, every night just pounded. I mean, I felt like every possession she got fouled, and she had to carry us. And if she had for her an off night, which her off night's probably better than most people's best night, but there was just no margin for error. And this year we have a lot of kids that can score. I mean, Mallory Johnson can flat out shoot it. Maddie Knight, as a freshman, terrified me every time she shot the ball. It was one of the ugliest shots I've ever seen, other than the bank-in corner three that she hit against Heritage Christian to seal that game. But, she's a kid that came in as soon as the season was done and worked on her shot. She ended up leading us in three-point percentage last year. So she's worked hard to continue to improve on that. We've just got a number of kids who can shoot the ball. Sarah Etchison's one of those kids.
Yeah, when she gets hot now, JV, when she got hot, she was, a player to be reckoned with as far as leaving her open.
Absolutely, yeah. She can shoot the ball, and then we're just going to try and run and get out and, like I said, play a style that'll be a little more up-tempo than what we were last year, because we feel like we got kids that can handle, and, you know, Abby Haley running the point is a little speedster, and you know, we want to be able to have other kids that can help us score besides just, you know, making Emily score 30 every night.
Yeah, now we'll be broadcasting your game that you go up to Hamilton Heights. We'll be doing that first game up there, so against Heights, and you know they have some good players up there.
Oh, absolutely.
That are back and you know, Keegan Cherry's in his second year, so it's going to be a totally different ball club up there, and it should be an interesting season. I'm really excited to get this season started and see what happens.
Yeah, we're excited too. It should be fun, and like I said, we definitely have a tough schedule, and every night you got to come out and be ready to play because, like I said, everybody on there from beginning to end is really talented.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach, for taking their time out of your busy schedule, and I think you're probably going to be in practice here pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
The girls will be coming down here and getting ready, and it's always great to have you, and I'm sure we'll be talking during the season. All right?
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Coach.